Let's be honest, everyone wants to be wealthy, but most people are chasing it the wrong way. They think wealth is about money, luck, or being born into the right family. But the truth, the real secret behind wealth is something the rich rarely talk about because it's not what you expect. Imagine two people with the same job, same salary, same 24 hours in a day. 10 years later, one's still struggling, and the other owns properties, businesses, and freedom. What changed? It wasn't luck, it was understanding the hidden mechanics of wealth. We're about to break it down, not theory, not hype, but the real mindset and moves that quietly turn average people into millionaires. By the end of this series, you won't just know how the rich think, you'll see exactly how they build, protect, and multiply wealth. Because wealth isn't just earned, it's engineered. Here's a truth most people never realize. The wealthy don't work for money, money works for them. It sounds cliche, but it's the foundation of every fortune ever built. See, the poor and middle class chase income, the rich chase assets. While most people trade time for a paycheck, the wealthy trade money for systems that keep paying them even while they sleep. Real estate, stocks, digital assets, businesses, all designed to multiply without their constant effort. But here's the catch. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how you use what you earn. The wealthy treat every dollar like an employee. Each one must bring back more. Every expense must have a purpose. Every investment must have potential. This is the hidden law. If your money isn't working for you, you're working for someone else's dream. The question is, how do you start flipping that balance in your favor? Before any empire was built, it started in the mind. That's the real battleground. Most people think wealth begins with money. It doesn't. It begins with belief. The wealthy see money as a tool, not a treasure. They don't fear risk, they study it, manage it, and use it to grow. Take this in. Every self-made millionaire you've ever heard of had one thing in common: they thought differently about scarcity. Where others saw limitation, they saw opportunity. They didn't ask, "Can I afford this?" They asked, "How can I afford this?" That small shift changes everything. The broke mindset trades time for security. The wealth mindset trades time for freedom. That's why rich people focus on ownership, not employment, on control, not comfort. The truth? The secret behind wealth isn't knowledge, it's perspective. Because once your mindset expands, your bank account eventually follows. Here's a hard truth. No one ever became wealthy working for someone else's dream. That doesn't mean jobs are bad. They're just the starting point, not the destination. The rich understand one golden rule. You must own something, an idea, a product, a property, or a system. When you work for a paycheck, your income has a ceiling. But when you own assets, your earning potential becomes limitless. Ownership is the foundation of freedom. It's the difference between working for money and letting money work for you. Think about it. Every billionaire, from Elon Musk to Oprah, built wealth through ownership. They created something once and got paid for it forever. That's leverage. Even small ownership matters: a rental property, an online brand, intellectual property, or shares in a company. It's not about how big you start, it's about starting. Because in the world of wealth, those who own rule, those who don't obey. Here's the part most people overlook. Wealth isn't built by working harder. It's built by letting time do the heavy lifting. This is the secret that quietly separates the rich from everyone else. It's called the compound effect. Albert Einstein once called it the eighth wonder of the world, and he wasn't exaggerating. Compound growth means your money doesn't just earn, it earns on its earnings. Over time, small, consistent investments snowball into massive results. The wealthy understand this deeply. They don't chase quick profits, they plant financial seeds early and let patience multiply them. While others look for instant results, the rich think in decades, not days. A $500 investment each month may not seem like much, but with time and compounding, it could become hundreds of thousands. That's the hidden advantage of wealth. Not luck, not timing, just time used wisely. Because the moment you respect time as your partner, not your enemy, money begins to multiply effortlessly. In today's world, everyone wants to look rich, but the people who actually build wealth often look ordinary. Why? Because true wealth is quiet. Only debt is loud. The more people spend to impress others, the further they drift from financial freedom. The wealthy understand this illusion. They don't chase shiny cars or designer logos, they chase assets that pay for those luxuries later. They buy freedom, not fashion, comfort, not clout. Here's the irony. The average person works 40 hours a week to afford things they post online to impress people who don't even care. Meanwhile, the wealthy are investing that same money into things that pay them forever. It's not about being cheap, it's about being strategic. Every dollar that doesn't grow is a dollar that dies. Remember this rule: rich people buy assets first, luxuries later. Broke people buy luxuries first and assets never. Wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and grow. Here's a truth that most people underestimate. Wealth isn't just built by what you know, it's built by who you're around. The people in your circle can either drain your potential or multiply it. Think about it: if you spend time with 5 people who complain about money, you'll become the 6th. But if you surround yourself with 5 people who invest, build, and grow, you'll inevitably rise to their level. The rich understand this better than anyone. They don't network for attention, they network for alignment. Conversations in wealthy circles are different. They talk about opportunities, strategy, leverage, not gossip or drama. Proximity truly is power. That's why your environment is one of the most underrated investments you'll ever make. Change your circle, and your perspective and your income changes with it. Because the truth is simple: your net worth will always rise or fall to match your network. Here's a secret the wealthy have mastered: they don't work harder, they leverage smarter. Leverage is the engine that multiplies wealth, and it comes in 3 powerful forms: money, people, and systems. While most people trade hours for income, the rich trade assets for time. They use other people's money to invest, other people's skills to scale, and automated systems to earn even when they sleep. That's why they can build empires while others are stuck chasing paychecks. Think about it: Jeff Bezos didn't deliver every package, and Elon Musk doesn't build every car. They built machines of leverage teams, technology, and capital that do the work for them. Leverage turns effort into exponential growth. It's how one person's idea can generate millions without their constant presence. The average person says, "I can't afford to." The wealthy ask, "Who or what can make this happen for me?" That's the mindset shift. Wealth isn't about doing more. It's about multiplying what already works. Making money is one thing. Keeping it, that's where the real game begins. Most people focus on earning, but the wealthy focus just as much on protecting what they've built. Because they know one bad move, one lawsuit, one market crash, and it can all disappear. So how do they stay rich? They play defense like pros. They diversify: no single source of income, no single investment. They use trusts, corporations, and insurance as shields. They turn liabilities into tax-deductible assets. And most importantly, they never risk what they can't afford to lose. Here's the secret: wealth isn't about how much you make at your peak, it's about how much survives when everything else falls apart. The rich plan for winters even in the middle of summer. That's why true wealth doesn't just grow, it endures. Because real freedom isn't about having millions, it's about knowing you'll never lose them. After all the lessons: mindset, ownership, leverage, protection, it all comes down to one ultimate truth. Wealth isn't built by chance, it's built by character. Every person who becomes truly wealthy shares 3 unshakable traits: discipline, patience, and vision. And they don't chase every opportunity, they choose the right ones. They don't spend to impress, they invest to progress. They don't give up when things get hard, they adapt, learn, and keep moving forward. The biggest secret: wealth isn't just about money, it's about freedom. The freedom to choose how you spend your time, who you spend it with, and what legacy you leave behind. Because in the end, real wealth isn't measured by what's in your bank account, it's measured by what you can create, protect, and pass on. So the question isn't, can you be wealthy? It's this: will you build the habits, discipline, and vision that wealth demands? Because once you master that, the secret behind wealth is no longer a secret, it's your reality. Now that you know the truth, wealth isn't luck, it's strategy. The next move is yours. You can keep scrolling, or you can start building your legacy today. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm you're serious about learning the real game of money. Subscribe if you're ready to stop chasing and start creating wealth. Every week, I'll break down the hidden systems, mindsets, and moves the rich use to stay ahead, and how you can apply them starting now. Comment below: what's the one mindset shift you're making after watching this? Share this video with someone who needs to stop working for money and start making money work for them. Remember, wealth isn't about where you start, it's about how you think. Change your mindset, and the money will follow.